is Jim Ashley, and I'm here to teach you some basic finger picking patterns. So let's get started. I'm going to skip the part where we do all the tuning and everything, because I think everybody nowadays has some kind of electronic tuner or another. So I'll just tell you I'm tuned in standard tuning, and I think if you tune by your tuner, we should be in tune with each other. So I want to start out with what we're going to start out with is thumb patterns, because to play this style you have to have a really solid thumb. You have to have a really strong thumb before you get into the finger picking patterns. So I want to start out with some basic thumb patterns. And we're going to do the chords we're going to do are G, E minor, C, A minor, F, and D minor. This will give us two chords with the root on the 6th string, 2 chords with the root on the 5th string, and 2 chords with the root on the 4th string. And this will give us our basic patterns that we need to do this finger picking style. Now I want to start off with the chords with the root on the 6th string. That'll be the G chord and the E minor chord. And when we start doing these bass patterns, I don't want you to have your fingers down here somewhere. I want you to have your first finger on the 2nd string, your second finger on the 1st string. Even though we're not using these fingers yet, when I get you used to having them there. So when we start using the fingers, they won't be somewhere way out of the way. They'll be right there where you need them to be. So, and you want to rest your fingers lightly there. You don't want to press them down real hard or anything. You just have your fingers resting gently on that on those strings. And also you can play this with real open strings like that. I usually play them a little muted like that. I'm not talking about completely dead, but with your palm near the bridge. So if you hear me playing that way, that's just because that's the way I'm used to playing, and I'll probably be doing that. So without any further ado, let's get to our first pattern. And our first pattern will be on the G chord. We'll be playing the thumb on the 6th string, and then the thumb on the 4th string. Thumb on the 6th string, thumb on the 4th string. And this is in 4/4 time, so your beat will go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And play that just as slow as you need to play it to make sure you can get a steady beat. And we can switch to an E minor chord and do the same pattern. It's 6th string, 4th string, 6th string, 4th string. We'll call that a 6-4-6-4 pattern. 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4. Good. Now if you've got that, we can move on. If not, you can back up the tape and do that over and over until it becomes automatic. Now, with the C chord, what we'll do is we'll do instead of doing the 6-4-6-4 pattern, we'll do a 5-3-5-3, 5-3, 5-3. Same pattern with your A minor. 5-3, 5-3, 5-3, 5-3. So again, we're doing the C chord, and the bass pattern we're doing is the 5th string, 3rd string, 5th string, 3rd string. You'll see how I'm resting these 2 fingers on the 2nd string and the 1st string. And the bass pattern we're doing is 5, 3, 5, 3, 5th string, 3rd string, 5th string, 3rd string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll move on to the chords with the root on the 4th string, which will be F and D minor. And the chord, the pattern we'll use for this is the 4-3-4-3 pattern. Remember, keep your fingers resting lightly on those first 2 strings and have those ready when we're ready to use them. So let's go back to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. Remember when I say 4, 3, 4, 3, I mean 4th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 3rd string, 4th string, 3rd string. That's kind of a tongue twister. But when I say 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm talking about the beats. We're in 4/4 time, there's 4 beats, so you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is what that looks like on paper if you want to see it. D minor will be, no, I'm sorry, F will be 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. And D minor will be 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're not going to go through every chord of every pattern, so what I'll do is I'll teach you the patterns in C, and then all you have to do is apply the bass patterns that we've already learned to the finger picking patterns. It'll make sense, you'll see, once we get started into a couple of these patterns. Now, our first pattern, and this is just more of an exercise, this is not really a pattern yet. This is, what I want you to do is you've still got your index finger sitting on the 2nd string, you've still got your 2nd finger sitting on the 1st string. So what I want to do is do a C chord, and we're going to be doing the 5, 3, 5, 3. The same bass pattern we were doing before, but this time in between the beats, I want you to pluck the 2nd string with your 1st finger, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Take it as slow as you need to do to be able to get that. And it, you know, you can do it faster if you're able, but don't do it fast if you're not able to do it completely steadily. The point is to be able to do this very cleanly and very steadily. Now the next pattern, we'll move on to the next pattern if you've got that. If you don't have that one, just back it up and play along with that one again. But the next pattern we're going to do, and again this is just an exercise pattern, we're not to the real patterns yet, but we'll still do the 5-3, the 5-3-5-3 bass on the C chord. But this time in between the beats, I want you to play your 2nd finger on the 1st string, and it'll go like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. next pattern will be this. It's a combination of those two things. We'll do thumb, index, thumb, middle. Gotta be careful with that middle finger. Okay, so we go thumb. Again, the same bass pattern. I'll be doing that same bass pattern we were doing on the C chord, which is the 5, 3, 5, 3 bass pattern. But this time we'll be going thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. And that's the index finger on the second string, the middle finger on the first string. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. Thumb, index, thumb, middle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. And do it just as slow as it takes to be able to do this and to be able to do it cleanly. You may even start out doing it just like 1 and 2 and 3. As slow as you need to do it to be able to do this. And remember, repetition is what gets you where you can do it faster and more. And when you repeat it enough, when you've done this over and over enough, you'll be able to do that and talk at the same time. But it'll take a while before you get to that point. And then let's move on to the next pattern. This pattern is the reverse of that. We'll go thumb, middle, thumb, index. Still the same fingers assigned to the same strings they were before. So we'll go, and we're doing the same pattern, 5, 3, 5, 3 pattern on the C chord. So we'll go thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb. Oh, I got that wrong. Thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, middle, thumb, index, 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 thumb, middle, thumb, index. So practice playing those two patterns, which the two patterns are basically thumb, index, thumb, middle, and thumb, middle, thumb, index. You can even mix them up a little bit. But the next thing I want to do is that can get pretty monotonous, just doing those steady patterns like that with no variation or anything. So the first variation I want to teach you is to leave out the very last finger note. And that'll go like this. Remember, keeping the thumb steady, so you don't want to fill in that space. You want to leave that space where that last note was to go. It goes like this. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb. And you'll count it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And you can mix it up with the other patterns we were doing. And of course you can do this with the other pattern too. Thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, and thumb, middle, thumb, And the next variation in this pattern is to go back to playing that last finger beat. This time skip the first finger beat. Remember, count the and just like you were playing the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Remember, you can mix these patterns up already. You can do variations on what you're doing with your fingers. You can mix up any of these finger patterns, but always keep that bass going steady. Okay, now the next thing I want to move on to is variations in the bass pattern. We already have some variations in the finger patterns, so if we can do some variations in the bass patterns, we can give lots of combinations. We can give you lots of combinations to work with. So what I want to do is go back to our basic chords that we were doing. Like the G, we were doing a 6 4 6 4, I believe is what we were doing for the G chord and the E minor chord. But there's variations you can do on this. For instance, you can do a 6 3 4 3, no, 6 4 5 4, 6 4 5 4. You do the 6th string, the 4th string, the 5th string, and the 4th string. Still counting 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Gives you a little variation. You can also change your pattern to a 6 3 4 3, 6 3 4 3. And that'll work also on the G and the E minor. And if you're playing in a different key and you want to do an E major chord, you can also use the same pattern, use the same bass pattern. All the bass patterns that work on an E minor will also work on E major, and all the ones that we were doing for A minor will also work for A, and so on. The D minor ones will also work for a D chord, but we'll get into the rest of those in just a minute. So again, another combination for the G and the E minor are the 6 3 4 3, 6 3 4 3. That's probably the pattern that I use the most on the G chord is this. You can use all those finger picking variations that we used already on these chords. Bass patterns too. You get a lot more interesting bass pattern when you do like this. Now for the C, we can get into some interesting combinations in the C and the A minor chord too, because the C chord we were doing 5 3 5 3 5 3 5 3. Same thing for A minor. But that can be pretty boring. It's good, I mean, work on it until you get it. But once you get that and you want to move on from there, some more interesting bass patterns for the C chord would be the 5 3 4 3, similar to what we did with the 6th string chords. those are a lot more interesting. Now, if we'll get into the, oh, there's one more that I want to do on the C before we move on to there, to get the sixth string involved in the with the C string. You can also go 5, 3, 6, 3. Now to do this, you're going to need to move your finger over, your third finger over to the sixth string when you play that note, so you get something like this. For the A minor. Now there's two ways to do this with the C chord. One way is to alternate your third finger back and forth between the fifth string and sixth string while you're playing that. Remember, the bass pattern we're playing is 5, 4, 6, no, 5, 3, 6, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3. And we're moving that index, that third finger back and forth on that fifth string like that. Now the other way to do this chord is to put your first finger the way you normally have it for a C chord, your second finger the way you normally have it for a C chord, but to play the C note on the third fret of the fifth string with your pinky finger, and then leave the third finger on the G note at the third fret of the sixth string. And you can do that same bass pattern like that. 5, 3, 6, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3. And switch to an A minor, do the same thing. Nothing, you don't really have to do anything different here. The difference between those two is that if you want the bass notes to ring out, you can do them that way. Where if you want to have that more staccato feel, you have that. So that's just two options you have. I'm just trying to give you a lot of options so you can do variations. And then we can move on to the we can do something similar to that with the F chord. Instead of playing the 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3 bass, which gets pretty boring, and it's also not very bassy. So what you can do is do the same thing we were doing with the C chord and go a 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3 by alternating that third string back and forth between the two. Or you can do like we did with the C chord, which is to put your index finger on the F note on the third fret of the fourth string, and then you can leave your third finger on the third fret of the fifth string to get that alternating bass. 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3. And same thing for the D minor. You can go 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3. And if you're playing songs in the key of G, or you're playing in the key of D, and you want to use a D major, you can use those same patterns we were doing for the D minor. They'll work for the D major too. One last thing I want to get into before we conclude this lesson is something that you might have heard me doing there. I wasn't intentionally doing, but it's kind of a habit of mine to do this, so I was doing it every now and then. So because I was doing it, I want to show you how to do it, which is to do a pinch, which is to play, we're doing all the finger notes between the beats. So you're going like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the fingers are always playing in between the beats. But the fingers can also play on the beat if you do a pinch, which by a pinch I mean to play your finger at the same time as you play your thumb. So you can do something like this. So you can just experiment with doing that a little bit, picking out the notes that you want to have ringing out, and you can just, throw some pinches in sometimes. You don't have to do them all the time.